And welcome everybody to episode number 73 of the EGlaze Chronicles. I am your host, EGlaze, and I have a friend of a friend I've known for many years, who has just done an exceptional thing and for the state, the county, the biggest county in Georgia, Gwinnett County. Miss Tiffany Porter. How are you today, Miss Tiffany Porter?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm sorry, let me say that correctly. Tax Commissioner-Elect Tiffany Porter.
Yes,
I have to
thank
ask you
you.
this before we get into all your stories. Why did you want this position? Because you have, once we talk about the things you went through, this elections aren't easy. They aren't easy at all. But you decided that you wanted to do this for Gwinnett County. Why did you want to become Gwinnett County Tax Commissioner?
I wanted to become tax commissioner because I felt that that was an office that was necessary for some change. Uh, I knew for me the next step after becoming a judge in Duluth that politics may be my next step to serving my community, and how could I best serve the community and do some of the things that I love. And so for me, working in an environment with people where we are pretty much the nucleus of the county, that gets me excited that I will be a part of that. I will be a part of keeping the county going and making sure that monies go to what they are intended for.
I think that's a big thing because I kept hearing, and I think people need to realize that how big Gwinnett County is and how much is going on in Gwinnett County. And like you said, you haven't slowed down since I met you. You know, when I first met you, you had created a law firm that was helping out the NFL players through their concussion problem. Now I see you going through and you're on court TV, and now you're a judge, you're a tax commissioner. Just talk about this grind that you've been on for the last few years and continuing to improve and do different things in your life.
Right. Well, for me, I mean, this has been a journey that I could not ever have imagined. And then with getting diagnosed with breast cancer for a second time in 2018, that really took me aback, and I had to regroup. And so with regrouping, it takes a lot of patience and determination, because you don't know what the next thing is, and you realize the little things that you take for granted. And for me, I just with my drive and going to the tax commissioner's office, it's just another stepping stone. I mean, I have told people over and over again that in the midst of COVID, I've been blessed, and with everything that was going on prior to with my treatment and going through that, I really was determined that once I got back on my feet, that I would really try to achieve some goals that maybe aren't possible, but at least try.
Let's talk about that. When I first met you, I think you told me you was a 10-year survivor of breast cancer. And then in 18, it came back. And one of my favorite videos of 2018 was you out there dancing out there in the street once you got that. One of my favorite videos. Talk to us about when you found out you had it again and your mindset at that time. That I don't want to say that I don't know how it affected you at first, but to see you where you are now and what you're doing, when you first found out you had got rediagnosed, what was your thought process at the time, and how have you worked on it since then?
My thought process at that time was, how long am I going to live? I went and started doing research immediately. Will I be here for my children? That was my main focus of really everything. And then I had to realize that, always thinking about that and what's going to happen, which no one really knows and can tell you, that you just have to live, because I wasn't living. You're so stuck in not only the past, but you're stuck in this kind of like a holding pattern, because you don't want to do anything because you're sick, but then you do want to do things because you're sick, if that makes sense. People tell you to slow down. I slowed down, of course. I couldn't do anything. But you have to make the changes, the life changes. It's not just for a disease or some particular ailment. You have to make the life changes. And for me, I mean, it was a whole lot, but I really, at that time, Emmanuel, I was devastated. I was devastated because I had been doing so many things, and I've been a planner about what I wanted to do in my life, and the steps I wanted to take. So when things were pretty much derailed, I really didn't know what my future held because, I was so sick at the time. And once I came out of it, you would not have been able to tell me that now I would be a judge or I would be on court TV, like not in a million years.
Yeah. So what is your current state right now from the breast cancer?
So what they do, they don't really call it, I guess, remission. I don't know. They try not to use those words, but I have continuous maintenance treatments. So I will have those, and I don't know for how long, but everything has been good. Everything has been good. I feel good, and I was just excited that dealing with the disease that I was able to get through it while also attacking other things at the same time. Most people wouldn't have even known.
And that's the thing that's honestly, Tiffany, from knowing you, I'm sitting back and when I first got it, everybody around you probably was like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh my God, Tiffany. Next thing I know, I'm looking at court TV and you smiling like I'm on TV. And I'm like, wow. And then you become a judge and then you keep going. And now you're a tax commissioner. Your story is so, I guess, inspiring. Talk to us about the will of saying, you know what, that living part. I want to stress that. I'm glad you said that, the living part. What was it about in your mindset after you got through the initial wave? What was your mindset to continue living? And you just said a little bit. Just tell us what went through your head. Like you said, you got daughters and things of that nature and kids. What was your mindset after that?
Right. So I have 4 children. And for me, the mindset was that I need to be here for them. I need to be strong for them. So everything, my will and anything to push me, I always thought about my children. And for me, when I laid on the couch, I mean, every day, I don't know how many days in a row without even getting up. And for my children to see that and see me go through that, I hope that they have gathered that, no matter what you come from, if you, get yourself together and you have the will and the drive, that anything is possible. Because they're just my everything. And so for me, at that time, I said, Lord, give me another chance. Give me, heal my body and allow me to be able to get back up and live in your purpose. Because at one point, I was walking with a cane. I could barely walk. And so I was really just on the verge, just depressed, didn't really know, what my life would look like. I'm walking with a cane. I mean, like my grandmother's cane. And for me, that was just totally different when you're used to working out 7 days a week. 6 days a week, and just being active. So for me, it was really debilitating. But now it's great. It's great.
So here you go. You said to yourself, I mean, running for office, and we know because you had to run primary, you had to run. When did you set in your mind? When was it that you said, I want to run for office? Because running for office isn't like you just say a couple of months. It's almost like a year-long journey or more. When did you say in your head, "Oh, I'm going to run for office," and tell the family? And what were their thoughts when you said that? Did they say, "Oh my God," or what's going on with you? Or when did you say in your head, it's time to do this and run for office?
Well, I mean, if I told you, you're not gonna believe me. I thought about it last year but not for myself. So I did the research because I was trying to get 2 other people to possibly run for the position. And that was last year. And then at the top of this year, I was like, you know what? More and more, because I had learned so much about the job.
Right, right.
I said, I might, I'm thinking about giving it a shot. And I made the decision the week of to put in for it. The week of qualifying, excuse me. I'm saying the week of qualifying. That's when everybody found out, including my family.
Wow. So you so you pushing people along and you like, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this.
I was like, I can do this. I can do this.
What did you learn that you liked about campaigning and that you didn't like about campaigning?
Okay, so with campaigning, COVID has really saved a lot of us because we weren't able to get around. I say we weren't able to get around. We didn't have to go around, shaking hands, kissing babies. So COVID saved that travel time because this doing things via Zoom and Skype has been amazing.
Right.
Having those meetings. But I would say on the tax commissioner side, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. That you have to make sure. I had to make sure that it was a right fit for me. That even though I don't have a tax background.
Right.
You don't need a tax background to be a tax commissioner because the tax commissioner collects monies and disperses those funds.
Right.
And so, but you must make sure that all of your finances and accounting are together and structurally sound, as well as making sure that you are really serving the consumer, and that's the citizens of Gwinnett County. So for me, when I kept looking at it, I said, this is a job that I can do. And I just told my family after I put in for it, I said, oh, my name's going to be on the ballot for the primary.
Oh, just
now
check me out.
Now we got to go put these signs out.
Yeah, get it out there. Get it out
now
there.
We're going to put these signs out. So I would say what I did not like about campaigning is I went off on a tangent back with what the tax commissioner does, but what I don't like about campaigning is how sometimes it can just the negative stuff that comes out in information that I think is really unnecessary. I mean, I know that this is politics, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like people lying on one another or bashing one another in public. It just does not look good. And for me, I when I look at who I'm going to vote for, that weighs on me as well. With me, rather. I don't like a lot of negative stuff about the other person. Tell me about you and what you can do and the changes that you can make. So that's what I would say that I least like about campaigning.
You got the pink and green on, and we know what that mean. How was it for you to see Vice President-elect Kamala Harris become the first woman of color, first everything, to take that position with that pink and green on? How was it for you to see that?
It was amazing. I was screaming. I was just going crazy. I mean, it's just just a joy in my heart. I felt like I was a little 5-year-old girl, and she just, it still made me believe that I could do anything, even though I'm good and grown. It still made me feel like, man, we can really do this. We can make some changes. We can achieve things that, our great grandparents and grandparents probably never dreamed of. So I was just, it's just so exciting. And it's so exciting to be her sorority sister.
Yeah. I said the world's got to get ready for the ski week because it's gonna come strong around here. Let's go it all around here.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's interesting to see her and to hear it and talk to you and what you've been doing. What can Gwinnett County expect from you within this position?
Well, one, they can expect more visibility from myself, as well as the office, as well as community involvement. I don't know how that will look yet, because once I get into office, I have to go in with my transition team and see where the needs are. But it's all about accessibility, visibility, and you want to make sure that people are able to troubleshoot and not have problems, as well as providing things for the elderly so that they don't have to go there and stand in line and things of that nature. It's just all about improving. It's already a great office, I will say that. It has been ran very well, but it's always opportunity for change or improvement. And so that's what I'm about. And then about bringing in a team that will help to change that.
When is the transition date? I know you look at it from a national level. They always say January 20th, I think. When do you go into office, actually? When is the date?
It would be January 4th. I don't know exactly the time frame for my swearing in, but January 4th is when everyone will start the new positions.
What was your family's reaction when you finally were declared the victor?
Oh, I mean, they went crazy. They're crazy. They made me feel like I was Beyonce or something. They were going crazy, and they were just like, I mean, what can't you do? You just do everything. And I for me, I don't think about myself in that light. But they were just happy. They're just like, you're never going to, like, mom was like, you're never going to stop. I said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, I have people talking already about other things in politics. And I'm like, no. Let me serve.
Let me do this first.
Yes, let me do this. And, I'll see what lies ahead. But that's not my mindset at all right now. My main focus is wrapping up my law firm and then starting on my new venture in the tax commissioner's office.
Who did you hear from when you won that you were like, oh, wow. Who reached out to you and congratulated you and things of that nature? How many people have? I know I did immediately, but how many other people reached out and congratulated? I know your phone blew up, your DMs probably blew up.
Oh my gosh.
Who all were reaching out?
I had so many people reach out, and I mean, I was overwhelmed. I just had to put the phone down. It was pinging from Facebook, Instagram, and then my regular messaging. And it was so crazy. That's why I was like, I felt like a celebrity for a few days, but I mean, so many people, I can't even name one person, but someone that I've been very close to, and she's also my sorority sister, is my professor from Hampton University, and we're very close. And her name is Lorraine Bell. And of course, she called me and was just like, I'm so proud of you, because I was a music major. So to see me doing all this stuff now, she's just like, it's unbelievable. I'm talking like her. She's always talks high. But
so wait a minute. You was a music major? Are you serious?
Yes. Vocal performance.
And all of this, wow, I did not know that. I always thought, oh my goodness, that's why it's awesome. So
thought I was like political science. I said, you thought it was like political science or something like that, or English?
I've always, because I've only known the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I've always been the lawyer, Esquire. That's all I've known. I didn't know.
I mean, you can go to law school with any degree, but music was just my passion. And I met a lawyer before I went to law school. Before I went to college, and he said, do what you like. He said, you can major in it, in whatever it is that you're interested in. He said, and then go to law school. And that's what I did. I said, well, music it is. Wow. Because that was my love. And so I love to, sing and dance and acting. I did all of that in theater at school.
let me ask you, and you inspire so many. How do how do you handle failure? Do you handle it? Do you address it when you don't get something, or something may seem like failure for most? What is it for you? Because it seems like you don't fail at much. But what is it that about you that makes you attack and go at things and work to get and to win? What is it about that?
All right. Well, I fail quite a bit. But I will say, I think what sets me apart is that I'm not afraid to fail. There's so many people that are afraid to fail that they're not willing to even try or try anything to succeed because they're afraid of failing. For me, when I have a failure, I'm human. Sometimes it'll, I might get in a little rough patch or feel a certain way about it, but I look at it as, well, what can I learn from this failure? What could I change? Because a lot of times people will point the finger at other people instead of looking at themselves to say, okay, what can I do to change? And really looking at the failures also as that wasn't my purpose. I let things go very quickly. Like, for me, winning the election or not winning the election, if it wasn't for me, I believe that I wouldn't have had it. And so that's the way I look at things. When things don't go my way, I say it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
Wow.
Or that person or that relationship wasn't for me.
Right. Wow. Wow. Getting my life lessons going on right now. Let me ask you, I always ask people who I feel like are very inspirational. Do you have a book coming out one day once you get through? I know people are going to ask you this because your story is amazing. If it's nothing else, just feel like it needs to be in some paper or electronic book or a Lifetime movie or something.
Someone said that the other day. Lifetime needs to. I said, someone told me that the other day. I said, yeah, Lifetime needs to, hey, come on over here and let me tell my story. But I think I have some books with an S brewing in me. I'm really trying to decide at this point how I want to tell my story and share my story. And if I want to, just talk about breast cancer and being a survivor, a book for that. And then a book about my childhood and things that I went through to get to where I'm at. So I do have some options, but that will be next. Everybody keeps asking me, and so I got to work on it. Got work to do.
Especially from a fellow HBCU grad, we got to keep these things out here to let these people know, how we doing things out here.
Right.
How did this rank in your list of accomplishments this election?
Oh my gosh, that question. I guess I would say in my top 5. I don't know which one. I don't want someone to get mad at me. But
I'm not, because you have, of course, everybody, the family and things of that nature, but 2-time survivor and all of that. But this is pretty strong. I mean, I think about you. It's funny, because when like I said, when I first met you, you were supporting the NFL players in this concussion protocol and things of that nature. And I know what was needed with that. And now I look at you, like you say, you became a judge. And I was like, hey, is she really a judge? Or then I see you on court TV and I'm like, wow, is she really on court TV? And now you're winning elections and everything like that. If you had to talk to young girls out there, and I think one of the most inspiring pictures I've seen recently is a picture of Kamala with a young lady in her lap. What do you want them to know from your story about what you can achieve if they had a chance to learn from you?
So for me, I had an opportunity to answer a similar question the other day, and I misspoke about. I said something to the effect of, I'm, want to be the example for little brown, Black and brown girls. And then I changed it and said, well, all girls. But I want to go back and say, I really meant Black and brown girls as far as my story, because for me, it was so hard, even being a dark-skinned Black.
Mm.
I had to overcome many obstacles just because of the way that I look. And I want those little girls to know, those little Black and brown girls to know that they are important and
Right.
that they're beautiful and
Right.
that they can do anything that they set their minds to. And they don't have to look like uh, someone from Europe or have straight hair to fit in. I want them to understand that, yes, it's harder for us, but it can be done.
Right.
And look at Kamala now. She's the true example of how this can happen. And, I want young ladies to know that you can do it. Anything through adversity, you can get through it and still come out um, on the other side of it. Because for me, even dealing with child molestation and dealing with drugs in the home at an early age and having my mother in and out of prison, for me, the odds were really stacked against me. So I thank God for grandparents and great grandparents that did not allow me to go into the foster care system. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I was happy that they were able to keep our family together when my
Right.
mother was away. And for those kids who are being raised by grandparents to know that you don't have to follow in your parents' footsteps, that there are programs and things available just for those kids
Right.
and to help them. But I think our government doesn't do enough of the work with helping those. So really helping and lifting up these these kids and these girls and to show them that they have they have a stake in this as well, and
Right.
that they're not obsolete. So I say for women that you have to just keep pushing forward no matter what. We are always expected to be strong, but it's okay to lean on people and
Hmm.
ask for help. I had to learn that, or you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
And for me, I just don't believe that there's any boundaries. I believe that my the sky's the limit. I firmly believe that, and that I can do anything I set my mind to. So if I want to be start a bakery or open a bakery next year, I'm going to do it.
I believe
I'm
it.
going to
I'll
do
be
it.
like, yo, it's time. Let me get let me get ready to go to Tiffany's Bakery because it's about to be open next year. She said it. It's going to be done.
Right,
I'm gonna end the question.
right.
Last question for you. I'm gonna end it like this: when generations, your family generations, or generations in general, type in the name Tiffany Porter or Google Tiffany Porter, what do you want them to be able to see when they Google your name?
I want them to see that regardless of my circumstances, that I was able to achieve X, Y, and Z and to really live my life to its fullest. I know from being a professional cheerleader, from doing all these things, people are like, how could you do that? Why did you do that? For me, it's all about living my life. So if I have a desire and something that I want to do, I'm going to try it. Whether I fail or succeed. I didn't always make a squad. How many times I tried out for the cheerleading squad here in Atlanta before I made one.
Right.
Uh, and, those things can, take you down. But I would say, I'm trying to think of something clever. Your questions are so good. Um, So run that question back to me again. I don't want to know if I gave you my full answer.
No, I like it because I'm just asking. I always used to ask it when kids type in your name and type in, everything's Google.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They type in your name. What do you want them to see when they type it in? I already know they're going to see
Right.
survivor, winner, and they're going to see all that. But what do you want them to say, be able to see?
Right. Right. Okay. So yeah. So then I did answer it. I was like, did I answer
Right.
the
You're right.
question fully? Okay. Yes. And so that's what I want to see, that they see that I lived my life to its fullest. and that I did not allow cancer. I did not allow divorce, strife in my family, drugs, none of that to get in my way.
Wow. Tiffany Porter, Gwinnett County Commissioner, Tax Commissioner-Elect, Tiffany Porter. Tax Commissioner-Elect, Tiffany Porter. Like I said, you are one of my biggest inspirations whenever I hear and see, and because of what you've done. I love that. Tell people where they can follow you at and find out and continue on this journey, because I know everybody's going to be like, where can I find her and all that. I put the IG stuff out there too, and the Facebook and all that stuff. So
Facebook, I am Tiffany Parker Porter on Facebook, as well as Porter for Tax Commissioner on Facebook. On IG, I'm just at Tiffany Porter, plain and simple. Also at Porter for Tax Commissioner on IG. My website is tiffanyporter.net. I just kept everything simple. You can find out more information, volunteer options for later on when we do our community events. I would love to see people come out and volunteer and learn about what the tax commissioner's office does.
When you become tax commissioner fully, do you have to do things through that, like a Twitter site through them or through the government site, or how does that work? Do y'all have that type of thing?
Yes, there will be a site that once everything is up and going that we'll go through. I plan on doing quarterly talks where it's going to be Tiffany Talks Tax, where we're going to have forums. I don't know how it's going to be yet, as far as we're still going to be, in the midst of the pandemic and dealing with that. But quarterly events where people can learn about the office, learn about their taxes, and so forth. Well, thank you. This was awesome. I'm glad you were able to do it. I appreciate it. I just, when you won, I was like, oh, I got to get on the show. We got to talk. So let's get it done. You're the Tiffany. First. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Tiffany, keep inspiring. Keep doing your thing. I'm ready to read every book. It should be a 12-part series because we got a lot to go through. It's going to be a lot of books, like you said, that you got to go through. But just keep doing what you're doing. And, if you ever have something you want to bring out, just know you got a home here. We can talk about it here and we can put it out there. So, thank you. Thank you so much, Tiffany Porter. Everybody, thank you for joining the EGlaze Chronicles. We'll see you guys later. Our next show will be next week. And remember to continue optimizing your vision. Have a great day.